or like that.
No, I don't, and I could care less. I don't know the first thing about business, but I see it turns you on.
Yeah, it does.
Mm-hmm.
So where are we gonna go for dinner tonight?
One step ahead of you. I told Matilda to make us something wonderful.
Sounds great. When's your mother gonna get back?
I have no idea.
Come on, the fun is just starting.
Your hands off her!
Stop! Oh, God! Oh, thank God you got here. Oh, God.
Oh, he's gone. Nick, who was that guy?
I can't talk right now. I can't catch my breath. Just hold me, please.
Okay.
Hold me. Hi.
We have to have a very important talk.
About what?
About the rest of our lives.
You want to tell me what's happened since you left here?
Sure. I went to Mona Lisa. And I was on cloud 9 because I wanted to celebrate the fact that your operation was a success. I knew you were going to walk again. And I bought everybody champagne.
Yeah?
Well, Tonio was there with Lucinda, and he was bragging about the fact that Sierra had called him and asked him to join her. Whoever she is. And, of course, Lucinda backed him up on that.
Yeah, but why are you even believing anything?
No. It opened my eyes. It opened my eyes to what my mama has been trying to tell me all along. Iva Sierra gave me her answer when she left this town without so much as a word to me.
But you don't know why she left.
Iva, if she cared half as much as I thought that she did, she would have stayed here. She would have stuck it out. We could have worked on this together.
Even if that is true, all right. Those are Sierra's feelings you're talking about, not yours.
All right. I'll tell you how I feel. I feel like I've been so busy chasing this dream. This dream of what Sierra and I once were before Tonio. I've been so busy chasing a dream that I haven't seen what's been right in front of me all along. What you and I had this summer was so special.
It's very nice to hear, you know, but that doesn't mean that you're going to forget about your feelings for Sierra.
But I've ignored what I've had for too long. And I won't risk losing you too. I can't.
What are you saying?
I'm saying I want to marry you.
As the world turns. This portion brought to you today by Ultra Pampers, the diaper with the lock-away cord. Even when they're wet, they're dry. And by Mr. Clean. For a clean so shiny, you have to ask, is it wet or is it dry?
All right. Okay. Are you all right?
So what happened to poor little Meggie this time?
Lily, I was coming here to see you. I got here, this guy was all over Meg.
You wouldn't believe what almost
Save her from
happened.
death here, right?
Lily, you don't understand.
Please wait. What are you doing here?
Yeah, I saw you leave promises with that sleazeball. I figured I better follow you home.
That wouldn't be terrific. Hey, you better go after him.
Hey, just don't worry about it. My partner is tailing him. Listen, I got to call the station, have somebody pick me up right away.
Sure. Lily, show you the phone. Go right in.
Thanks a lot. Meg, why are you with such a slime?
Well, Nellen and I went out to this bar, and, well, she went to the ladies' room, and then she never came back. And he came up to me, and he started talking to me, and he was really kind of nice, and then he said he owned his own record company.
Yeah, but Maggie, you're such a stranger. Just drive you home. It doesn't matter.
I didn't have enough money for a cab, and it was too far to walk to the bus alone, and, well, not to mention that hike up the driveway. Oh, please, 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 don't be angry at me, please.
I'm not angry with you. I worry about you. You know, by force of habit, that's all.
Dusty, it's the nicest thing you said to me in a long time.
Yeah, Bud's telling him right now. I'll catch up with him as soon as you send a car over. Right. I'm heading out the driveway now. Thanks for letting me use your phone, Miss Walsh.
It's okay, no problem.
Oh, by the way, Holden, let me give you a friendly little piece of advice. You might tell your kid sister to keep away from places like Promises and guys like the one she let take her home tonight. Capiche? See ya.
What was that all about?
Apparently, little sister Meg went out to Promises tonight and picked up some creep.
She did what?
Yes, she did. And then she let him take her home tonight, and he put the moves on her.
I don't believe that girl. What the heck's the matter with her? Doesn't she have any sense in that head of hers?
Not to worry. Not to worry. She's outside with Dusty right now.
Dinner.
That looks great. Doesn't that look great?
Yeah, I'll say. Especially since there's no artichoke. And only one fork.
Hey, thanks for coming. Yeah, I'm really glad you came.
No problem. Listen, can I talk to you for a minute? Alone?
All right. I'll be inside. Okay?
Listen, you didn't tell that creep when I was a cop, did you?
No, gosh, no. Why would I?
Thank you, Matthew.
You're welcome. Will there be anything else?
No, everything looks perfect. Thanks.
Well, enjoy yourselves.
Now, isn't this a lot better than going out?
Yeah, I'd much rather be alone with you.
Where do we start?
You tell me.
On something like this? Hmm? Why don't we switch plates then? No, you can cut that one for me.
Now, just listen to me.
Look,
just
I know,
for a minute.
I know that this is out of the blue. It's a terrible place to do this, but just think. Just think. Think of what we had together this summer.
I know.
You know how special you are to me, Iva. We got a shot at a wonderful life together.
I know. It sounds wonderful.
Then all right. Then marry me.
No. I can't. Boy, the stars are bright tonight. I haven't seen the sky this clear in a long time.
Can we sit down here for a minute?
Yeah. Yeah, sure. You're staring at me again. You keep staring at me. Jeff, you barely said 10 words since we left the Mona Lisa. What are you thinking about?
Just trying to believe that it's real. That I'm not dreaming.
It's real.
I've been waiting so long to hear you say that. I have a question, though.
Well, sure. What is it?
I never pushed you because you always said that you weren't ready for any sort of a commitment whatsoever. Well, what happened between you and Casey?
I don't know exactly. I mean, I'm not so sure myself, but, well, when I saw you leave the party, I figured you'd be back. But then Lisa said that you'd gone, and, well, you didn't even say goodbye.
Well, I already explained why.
Yeah, I know that. I know, but, well, there I was. I was in this room full of family and friends, and, well, suddenly I felt very lonely. I don't know what it was. Maybe it's
really, I don't know, but, well, the party was still going on, so I just tried to push it out of my mind. But then things started to wind down, and, well, I just knew that I had to see you and find out why you'd left like that. Well, Casey and I were out on the porch, and he told me that not having any sense of commitment from me was undermining his self-confidence, and, well, this is the strange part. Yeah, when I looked at him in that second that I looked at him, I realized I could never give him what he wanted. Because my thoughts were full of you.
That's the best thing I could ever hear. I just hope it's not because Casey pushed a little too hard.
No. Oh, no. On the drive over, my heart was actually pounding. And when I walked into the Mona Lisa, I looked at you. I got a weak in the knees. And that's when I knew that I was in love. Really in love.
Oh, boy, Franny. I have loved you for so long. And I will always love you.
Still no answer, Barbara. Casey, I thought you had the night shift.
Oh, there was some kind of schedule foul-up. I reported to OB. They said they didn't need me, so I fought with all the other residents, try and get a shift, but, no nice.
Well, why would you fight to work when you have the night off, huh?
'Cause I need to work tonight.
What's wrong?
I'll tell you about it later. I need a stiff drink right now.
What in the world's wrong with him? If I were to venture a guess, I'd say that Franny coming here to find Seth had something to do with it.
You're probably right. Oh, Emma, I hope you enjoyed your dinner.
Yes, we did, Lisa. Thank you. It was lovely. I'm sorry we're rushing off, but I want to get back to the hospital and say goodnight to Iris before she goes to sleep.
Of course. Give her my love,
Yes,
please.
I will.
Emma, if you happen to see Craig while you're there, would you tell him I need to talk to him?
Yes, of course I will. Good night.
Mrs. McCall, did you ever figure out why Earl never told you that he'd left my employ?
It's really none of your business, Lucy, dear.
Shall we go, Lucinda?
I'm going to the powder room first.
Yes, I'd like to make a credit card call to Paris. My number is 312-555-2132-478. Thank you.
Hello?
Maria? I know it's very late. I'm sorry to wake you. Yes, Tonio.
It's all right. I was up reading.
I know that Sierra's there with you, so that you probably can't talk. Don't let her know that it's me.
She's sleeping. She came in very late last night. It was the first time I'd seen her since Montega. So imagine my surprise when she called and she said she wanted to stay with me. Almost as surprising as when I received your wedding announcement.
How much has she told you as to why she's there?
Nothing, really. But I can tell she's very unhappy. I get the feeling, my darling, you're not as good a husband as you were a lover.
I have to go. I'll call you back later. Please, wait up for me. Excuse me.
Well, Tonio, too bad you hung up on Barbara like that. I've been trying to reach you for the past 20 minutes.
I don't know what you're talking about. I wasn't speaking with Barbara.
Really?
Good night.
Good night. I've got to get ready for my last set, but I would appreciate it if you keep your eye on Casey. He's already had 2 stiff drinks.
Oh, dear. All right, okay, I will. Just as soon as I get in touch with Barbara, I've got to tell her that right after she left, this man called to speak to Hensley. And he left an urgent message saying there had been a change in plans.
Boy. Hold on. All right. Well, Hensley, thank you very much for dinner and for the ride home.
My pleasure.
Oh, well, it is getting late, isn't it?
Oh, of course. May I use your telephone before I go?
Oh, yes, of course. But if you wouldn't mind, make it quick. I have a lot of work to do.
Well, thank you. No answer. Well, you do have a very beautiful apartment. Very much the way I imagined it.
Thank you very much.
See,
Well, it is getting late, isn't it?
perfect setting for a very beautiful woman.
I have a lot of work to do. I really do.
That's a pity. I would have thought a shrewd lassie like yourself would know the old adage, all work and no play makes Barbara a dull girl.
Hensley, I really would appreciate it if you leave now, please.
Hensley!
It's okay, Duncan. Hensley was just leaving. I'd like a brandy. Would you like one, too?
Very much, thank you.
Good.
I didn't much like what I just saw.
Why not? You're the one who said you'd enjoy the competition.
Competition is one thing. Forcing your attentions on a woman who doesn't care for them is quite another.
Well, it never stopped you. All right, I'm going. Good night, Barbara.
Good night. For you. Thank you for coming at the most opportune time. And that makes me very nervous, Duncan.
Why'd you invite him?
I didn't invite him in. The telephone was ringing. I came in, he just sailed in behind me. I was trying to get rid of him, and he just kept staring at me like I was naked.
He's gone now.
Good. He really does make me nervous. He is a very strange man, Duncan.
Hensley and I go way back. He's very good at what he does.
Handling your legal affairs?
Among other things.
What other things?
Surely you've heard the old adage, curiosity killed the cat. I'd hate to see such a beautiful woman meet the same fate.
Matthew? What is going on in here?
Hello, Miss Walsh.
Finished dinner. How was yours?
Holden, I thought that you were going to be burning the midnight oil down at the office.
Yes, Holden, what about the report that you were preparing for me? It's on your desk. Completed. Oh. Well, then, I would very much like to see it before I leave in the morning. Okay, I'll go back to the office and pick it up for you. Want to come?
No, that's okay. I'll be here when you get back. I'll see you then.
Okay. See you in a bit. I can't imagine how he finished that so quickly.
Holden's very smart. He's enjoying what he's doing.
Yes, darling, we know.
Oh, hi. Is Dusty here? I thought he came in to see you.
Last time I saw Dusty, he was with you.
Well, Craig told us the good news about your sister.
Oh, yeah, isn't that wonderful? I saw her earlier. I told her I'd be coming back, though.
Shouldn't make promises you can't keep, Meg.
I didn't. I was just leaving.
Well, dear, you can take Fenwick if that helps you.
Oh, thank you, but I was thinking of going someplace else afterwards.
That's perfectly all right. I'm finished with Fenwick. Taking me is nothing better to do anyway.
Oh, well, gosh, thank you. I'd love to take the limo. Thanks.
Well, I've got work to do. I'm going to change. Tonio, make the phone call to Tokyo.
See you later.
Wait a minute. I have something to say.
I don't want to keep Fenwick waiting.
This won't take long. I know you're
you're planning to go see Dusty at Lila's after you go to the hospital or whatever you're doing, I am just reminding you to tell my mother you're moving out.
Now, why would I want to do that?
Because if you don't, I'll have a nice little chat with her. Catch my drift?
Oh, come on, Lily. You can't expect me to move out in the middle of the night. Besides, your mother's with Tonio. I'll tell her in the morning.
Tonight. You pack your bags and get out tonight. Or else I'll have a nice little talk with my mother and tell her everything.
I don't know how to put this into words. Listen to me. Now, once I'm back on my feet again, and you can look me straight in the eye and tell me that you were really, truly over Sierra and that you're in love with me.
No, I don't have to wait. I know what I want right now.
No, you don't know what you want right now. You're an emotional wreck right now. I mean, you just found out that Sierra's pregnant and that Tonio's moving back in.
Iva, why are you doing this?
I don't
You don't want to marry me?
No, yes. Somebody has to be realistic at this point for both our sakes. I mean, I know how emotional you are, and you just jump right into anything, and I don't... Oh, my heart's beating so fast. I love you too much to see you rush into marriage, even if I couldn't think of anything more wonderful in this whole entire universe than to be your wife. Now, whatever happens, whatever ever happens, I'm very flattered. I really am. I'm very flattered that you would even ask.
Iva,
No!
Iva. I'm not giving up.
I don't want you to. I don't want you to. But, Craig Montgomery, you have to be as sure as I am that you married me for the right reasons.
Okay. I'll see you in the morning.
I hope so.
You sleep well?
Oh, really? Yeah, right. I'll try. I really will. To sleep. Good night. Oh. Oh. Oh, my goodness. Oh, boy. Great. Hello.
Hi, Iva. It's Lily. I was wondering if Holden and I could come by and say goodnight to you after he gets back from the office.
Lily, I think visiting hours are over.
Have you forgotten that I have a lot of clout in that place? My mother's on the board.
True. But, listen, I really need my rest. But before I hang up, I want to get serious for a moment and tell you that Dusty came by today and told me everything about Meg. And I know how hard it must be for you, I mean, having her in your house and all.
I'm amazed Dusty even told you.
Well, he didn't exactly tell me. I mean, I overheard John and Dusty out in the hall, and I had to pull the rest of the story out of him. And I just want to tell you that I admire your maturity.
I don't know if you will after you hear what I did tonight. I told Meg to move out, or else I'd tell my mother everything.
Listen, I love my kid sister a lot, but, you know, we don't agree on very much. And don't be too hard on yourself now. I just want to tell you again, I'm really impressed with your maturity. I'm proud of you.
Well, I'm very proud of you, too. Sweet dreams.
I left for New Mexico, and Meg followed me there. And she told you and everybody else she was going to be going to Doris Ogle's, but she really wasn't. She was coming to get me back.
Yeah, but what I don't understand is she couldn't afford to pay.
I know, well, that's because John paid for it.
John paid for it?
Yes. So then, Meg and I became involved, and then, she thought that she was pregnant, and she had a test and it came out positive, but it turned out that she's not, and she's really fine now, and I see no reason why anyone else would have to know. You don't have to tell anyone.
Who is it?
It's your baby sister. Can I come in?
This portion of As the World Turns has been brought to you today by Zest Deodorant Bar. Only Zest gets you zestfully clean. And by the Soft Touch Banner Toilet Tissue. So soft, you'll want to touch it. We'll continue with part 2 of As the World Turns in just a moment. And now part 2 of As the World Turns.
Well, thank you, Lisa, for that break. It's the best one I ever had.
Well, you're so welcome. And what makes me feel so good to see the two of you enjoy each other and have such a good time, it makes me forget my problems.
Well, you tell me all your problems. The way I feel now, I think I could solve every damn problem in the world.
I'm not going to bring you down from that cloud. You're too high up there. I'm not going to bring you down to earth. Oh, listen, I'm going to do one other nice thing for you because I'm such a wonderful person.
Well, you are at that,
yes,
you know
that? I know. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to say, take the rest of the night off and enjoy yourselves. And look, Franny is going off to England, and I just want you to spend as much time together as you possibly can, okay?
I'll tell you what, I'll work overtime every day she's gone in London.
Oh, all right. Oh, I'm going to go one step further. I don't want you to put a foot back in this place until Franny has gotten safely on the plane. And just consider that your paid vacation from a very grateful boss lady. Okay?
Oh, Lisa, thank you. Welcome. I'll come and see you before I go.
You certainly better.
I will, I promise.
Okay.
Fine, thank you.
Right on.
Hi, you guys.
Hi.
Frank.
Hey,
How you doing?
Good to see you.
Hi, thank you. Thank you
Casey, I know how you feel. Let me just go talk to Craig for a minute, and then we can go right home, okay?
You gonna have another one while I'm waiting?
Casey, that's not going to help.
It already has.
Listen, will you do me a favor and see if you can convince Casey to have some coffee instead of another drink? Oh, not going to listen to me.
I'll do my best.
Mama, I asked Iva to marry me. She turned me down.
Oh, Craig. Well, thank heaven one of you has some common sense. Craig, the only reason you asked Iva to marry you tonight is because you're so upset about Tonio going off to find Sierra. Believe me, honey, that I would like nothing more than for you to fall madly in love with Iva and get off the emotional roller coaster you've been on ever since you fell for Sierra. But that hasn't happened yet. I can tell, and obviously Iva can too. Look, excuse me, please, but I have done my best. Casey just ordered a double. Now, darling, I can't tactfully stop him, okay?
Ma, what is the problem? Casey is old enough to take care of himself.
Yeah? How come you aren't? Oh, look at that. The look on your face. I believe you've had about as rotten an evening as I have.
Why? What happened to you?
I'm waiting for Earl to come in, because I have to face him with some blatant lies. I dread it so much. I feel like my whole world is just crumbling all around me.
I know the feeling.
Hey, you know something? You know when you bought champagne for the house?
Honey, I'm sorry. I'll take care of it.
Come on, no. What I'm going to do is I'm going to buy a bottle of champagne just for the two of us, and let's get real silly and forget all this for a little while. What do you say?
I think that's a wonderful idea, partner.
Now, Meg Snyder, don't you go blame Dusty for this. I had to drag this out of him.
Well, don't blame Dusty. Blame Dr. Dixon. You know, he's been so mean to me ever since this happened. He's been treating me like a town tramp or something.
Well, it's just because he loves Dusty. Now, listen to me, Meg. I have watched you for months doing everything that you can think of to get attention from Dusty. And I tried to get you to accept the fact that he cares more about Lily than he does about you.
Stop it!
Now, just accept that,
Don't
Meg.
take your frustrations out on me!
What are you talking about?
Because you love Craig, and Craig loves Sierra. Maybe we're not as different as you seem to like to think.
Oh, no, Meg, you are wrong, because I don't want Craig or anybody else who doesn't love me. It's a dead-end street. I have been there.
I'm sorry. Oh, God, I'm sorry, really. I overheard you and Seth talking one day, and please, I really didn't mean to say that. Please don't tell Mom about Dusty and me. Oh.
I'm sorry I had to leave the Hughes party so suddenly.
So tell me all about your emergency with Beatrice.
Well, Beatrice is going through a very bad period. Mrs. Hatchley called to see if I might be able to calm her. Sometimes I wonder if I'm being fair to Beatrice.
Why?
Well, when we were in Scotland, she was in a sanitarium. It broke my heart every time I went there to see her. I thought that by bringing her here, she would get a sense of family at the castle. And her terrible depressions would start to fade. That hasn't happened. I wonder if I couldn't find a place for her that would give her more proper care.
Duncan, have you ever been inside a place like that? It's not very pretty. I've never really talked to anybody about this before, but... Well, it happened a few years ago, but I'm still haunted. I spent some time in a mental institution once, too.
Strong-willed, strong-minded woman like yourself.
It was a long time ago.
I'm beginning to understand you better. Those scars must be very deep.
Why do you think I've been so cautious with you?
My dear, you mustn't judge all men by what you suffered at the hands of just one. Don't answer it.
Oh, it could be Paul, Duncan. It could... I want him to come home for the weekend.
Hi.
Hold on. Hello? Yes, he is. Hold on, please. Mrs. Hatchley, she sounds upset.
What is it, Rosalind? Is it Beatrice again? What? Where did she find it? No. Whatever you do, you mustn't call the police. I'll be there as soon as I can. And for God's sake, don't ask Hensley anything about it.
Well, I'm glad you had a good dinner.
Yes, well, she kept talking about coming back here to say goodnight to you, though. I tried to talk her into going having a nightcap, but I don't know. She keeps saying no.
Now, listen, Mama, you have been here for 3 days, and you've been working at the farm. Now, go on. Have a night to yourself. Go on.
Yeah, I was right. Why don't you go have a good time with Dr. Dixon?
See, I don't know.
Well, I better go.
Okay.
Okay.
You don't think you're going to?
I know. I'm sorry for what I said.
You'll lose that?
I know, but you got to tell her sometime, Meg. You got to tell her. Come on. Now, look, I know that you're not...
What are you two girls whispering about, huh?
She was just...
I was just saying how glad I was that I was going to be all better.
Would you like us to drive you back to the Walshes?
Oh, no. As a matter of fact, I got Mrs. Walsh's limousine, so I'll see you guys later. Bye.
Well, will you look at that? Not even a kiss goodnight to her mom. I'll tell you, I don't know. Limousines. I don't know what's with your sister's values. Absolutely not. I cannot justify sending a trainee all the way to London, particularly a man that's just been hired.
Lucinda, Holden has wonderful business instincts. Real executive material.
We don't know.
Besides, it would cost you more in the long run for me to resume his training once I return. And he's familiar with the Lawrence Industries contracts. He could be very helpful to me. Hello, Lily. I didn't realize you were there.
Don't stop on my account.
Yes, darling, you must, because I know you don't like to hear business discussed. Tonio, you and I will discuss that in the morning.
Lucinda, I must leave first thing in the morning. We have to settle this now.
You were talking about Holden, weren't you?
Yes.
I do not want to discuss it now, and particularly not in front of Lily.
Wait a second. Wait, how long will Holden be gone?
Oh, about a week or so. He will become more familiar with the Lawrence industry operations and work side by side with me.
Well, Mom, that's a terrific opportunity for him. That's wonderful, and that's probably Holden. Don't go away.
You're brilliant.
You were wonderful yourself. She's not an easy girl to convince, and I think we fooled her. Hi.
Hi.
Is Tonio here?
Yes, he is. I wanted to warn you. He and my mother are having an argument over you.
About what?
Well, Tony wants to take you to London, and my mother doesn't want him to. And I think you should fight for the chance to go.
Well, if your mother doesn't want me to go, nobody's going to change her mind for her.
I don't know about that. Tonio's been a fair-haired little boy ever since Sierra's pregnancy. Come on inside.
Wait a minute.
What for?
This.
Like I was telling you, Destro, you gotta watch these women all the time, man. They tell you that they need time to think. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. All this time, somebody else is just moving in on your territory, you know what I mean?
Yes, I know that.
You do, huh?
Yeah.
Oh.
No, that's not going to help you, though.
Ah, Dusty's right, Casey. Go pour this down the sink.
Hey, wait a minute.
And make a pot of good, strong coffee, okay?
How many times have I tell you I don't want any coffee?
As many times as I have to tell you, you need it.
Oh, well, yeah. Well, since when do nurses give orders to doctors, huh?
Well, when you finish your residency, then maybe I'll be intimidated, but not now. I can't believe you're sitting around here drinking and feeling sorry for yourself.
Yeah, well, blame it all on Franny Hughes and that poet in a penguin suit.
No, Casey. From what you've told me, Franny's always been honest with you. She told you over and over again she wasn't ready to make a commitment to you. And I told you not to push it. And did you listen to me? No. No, you went right ahead and pushed, and when you didn't get the answer you wanted, you act like a 10-year-old.
You're not exactly the shining example of how to live a life, you know. I mean, look at you. You're a beautiful, bright, sexy woman, and you spend your days nursing at the hospital and singing all night at the Mona Lisa. And why?
Because I enjoy it.
Oh, baloney. That ain't the real reason, and you know it.
Oh, listen, Dr. Freud, when you're sober, maybe I'll listen to your opinion.
No, I think you're going to listen to him now anyway. You work at that hospital all day. You stay busy, so you don't have to come home to this empty house here. You're so obsessed with your kids' problems. When Margot and Tom were separated, you worried about Margot. When Craig was in prison, you worried about Craig. I mean, you're still worried about Craig. What are you going to do, hold his hand? I mean, you wallow in your kids' problems, and you can't even see that your own is staring you right in the face. Wait. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I had no right to say those things to you.
Well, if I was going to be honest about my opinions about you, then I guess you had every right to do the same thing.
No, the last thing in the world I ever want to do is hurt you.
Very nice. Oh, a pie.
I'm awfully pleased that you decided to have a nightcap.
Well, I wanted to since you first asked me, but you know, I'm usually in bed by midnight. I'm up before the sun is.
Yeah. Well, you heard what Ivor said, though. You really do deserve a night for yourself.
Well, it's a little chilly in here. You better open the door before I change my mind. What?
Well, I think you ought to know that when I asked you up for nightcap, I really had breakfast in mind.
You forgive me?
Nothing to forgive.
Coffee's ready.
Thank you, Dusty.
It's okay. I'm gonna go up to bed. Night, you guys.
Night.
Ciao, Bella, bud.
Oh, I'm going to fix you that coffee now.
No. Oh, my stomach can't take any coffee. Why don't you just save it for breakfast?
All right. I prescribed 2 aspirin before you go to bed.
You got a prescription for everything, haven't you?
No, not everything. But I've been where you are, and aspirin and sleep usually help. So why don't you just go take the aspirin and go to bed and...
Things will look better in the morning.
Are you making fun of me? And watch that first step. Now, Craig.
Hi, I'm sorry to come by so late. I'm glad you're still up. I was wondering, I really have a big favor to ask you.
So, I guess this is goodbye for a little while.
Yeah, I'm on my way to London. I still can't believe that Tonio got his way.
Yes, he sent my mother upstairs with a great big headache. Just like Craig used to do when he'd win his arguments. She's a very bad loser, my mother.
I sure am gonna miss you, ma'am.
I'm gonna miss you too.
Just think, it was a little over a year ago that I first met you. And you were on your way to London with your mother to see Dusty.
Seems like a long time ago, doesn't it? We hardly ever knew each other then. Yeah. So you understand why I had to put my foot down with Meg, right?
Yes, I do.
Why are you smiling? What's wrong? What's so funny?
I was just thinking how much you are like your mother.
Is that a compliment?
If you knew what I was thinking, you'd know it was.
Can you talk now?
Yes. Sierra's still asleep. You know, seeing her brought back so many memories of Montega. When you and I were fighting in the resistance by day and making love all night long.
I know. I can't tell you how anxious I am to see you again. Look, I'm leaving first thing in the morning for business to London. But I've arranged my schedule so that I can spend as much time as possible with you in Paris. Of course, I will see Sierra while I'm there, too.
Stay tuned for Capital, next on most of these CBS stations. Men's and women's sweaters by Tony Lambert. Jewelry by Yves Saint Laurent. Join us tomorrow for As the World Turns.